about 5 lines, 6 lines into Eis Gimel. So at the beginning of these few lines here, the Rebbe explained the diak of the lashon kol hashviyin chavivin. It doesn't say kol hachavivin shviyin, rather it says kol hashviyin chavivin, which means that there's something that is essential about the level of the shvi, not that there's any particular chavivos, and because of that, because of the milas it has, therefore it's placed in shvi, but kol hashviyin, which comes from birth. It's something that's there in the essence. He's there in the shvi, and that is his chavivus. The very fact that he's a shvi. Let's continue inside. The first 2 words in the line is al yodai, Eis Gimel, page Hey. Sefer. Hinei bier kvei kedushes moire v'chami admor betchilas boye la Amerika. The Friediger Rebbe explained in a Maamar. In the beginning, when he came to America, Shagam be'inyin da shviyin chavivin. When you look at the 7th and you say that the 7th is cherished, Niker Maila Sarishin. You see the Maila of the first. Sharei kol inyin shvi hushu shvi l'rishin. You only come to 7 if you start off with the first. So if the 7th is cherished, so that itself tells you that the Rishon that began the process and brings to the 7 also has a Maila. So the Rishon is the opening, is the beginning, is the Psichas HaTzinner. Obviously, besides Rishon, you need each one on the way to get the Shvi. You only get the 7 if you have not only the first, but the second, the third, and each one of the tzaddikim that came before the Shvi. But specifically, the Rebbe is speaking about the Rishon, which is the opening, the beginning, the Psichas HaTzinner. There's a great mila to the Rishon. Then the Friediger Rebbe spoke about the great level of Avraham Avinu. That he served the Eibishter, and that his Avedi served the Eibishter was with Mesiris Nefesh. The Friediger Rebbe doesn't stop there. He adds another detail about Mesiris Nefesh. Although, if you take a look there in the Maamar, the additional point that he says about Avraham Avinu is not necessary for the explanation of the point that he's trying to make in that Maamar. But the Friediger Rebbe goes a step further to describe the Mesiris Nefesh of Avraham. The Eifena Mesiris Nefesh Shalai, Hoya, that the Mesiris Nefesh Avraham had was Shalai Chipes Mesiris Nefesh. He wasn't looking to have Mesiris Nefesh. He wasn't looking to reach the level of Mesiris Nefesh. Mesiris Nefesh is a level which expresses the greatest dedication and connection of a Yita Hashem. So therefore, as the Rebbe will soon see by Avraham, by Rabbi Akiva, he was davening and hoping and praying, when will I come to have this level of connection that's expressed in Mesiris Nefesh? By Avraham Avinu, though, he was so busy serving the Eibishter, he wasn't looking for anything. He wasn't looking even for the level of Mesiris Nefesh, which is the greatest level of connection. We're on the bottom, the last line of page Hey. So this is the difference between the Mesiris Nefesh of Avraham and the Mesiris Nefesh of Rabbi Akiva. Mesiris Nefesh of Rabbi Akiva Haya was gesucht Mesiris Nefesh. He was looking for Mesiris Nefesh. The expression the Gemara says in Brachas, Rabbi Akiva said, when will the time come and I'll fulfill this level, to come to this connection of Mesiris Nefesh? Masha'ein came by Avraham, which is not the case by Avraham Avinu. Hina Mesiris Nefesh Shaloi, the fact that he had Mesiris Nefesh. He was thrown into a fire in Ur Kasdim, and he was ready to, he took his son to the Akedah, and whatever other Mesiris Nefesh he had in all of his life. Hoy b'derech agav. It was just, how would I say, derech agav? It was on the side, as part of what he's doing. He was so dedicated, and he was ready to do and go anywhere for the Eibishter's sake, including if it would demand Mesiris Nefesh. He wasn't looking to find Mesiris Nefesh as another level of connection to Hashem, but he was so dedicated to Hashem and to the focused on the purpose of doing what Hashem wants, that he was ready to do no matter what it takes. Avraham Yodam. Avraham understood and knew what is the main avodah of a Yid in this world, as it says there regarding Avraham, that Avraham Avinu called the name of the Eibishter, and he referred to the Eibishter as Kei Loilam. Al tikre vayikros, Chazal tell us, when it says vayikra, do not read it as vayikra, that he called Eibish's name just to himself, ele vayakri. As yen is aloich shrayin. He saw to it that others should also announce and proclaim Hashem's name. V'im nitzrach lezeh, b'derech agav Mesiris Nefesh, if it's necessary to use a koach of Mesiris Nefesh to publicize Hashem's names, hine gam zeh yeshnoi. It's also available for the avodah necessary to go and get another person to shrai, to scream and proclaim Hashem's name. The greatness of Avram's Mesiris Nefesh is so much. Even Moshe Rabbeinu, whatever he merited that he was the one that brought, and the Torah was given through him here in this world. It's because he's the seventh, and the seventh is cherished. You have to remember that he's number 7, and he has a great mila, as we said before, so much so that it comes at birth, and it's not even a mila that can be expressed. It's a very deep mila. Still, the mila of the Shvi comes because he follows the Rishon. He follows the Aveda that Avram Avinu began, which is this greatest bittul that the Rebbe described over here. Right, so the point that distinguishes between the Mesiris Nefesh of Avram and the Mesiris Nefesh of Rabbi Akiva is the aspect of bittul. As great as the level of Mesiris Nefesh is, but if a person is searching to come to the level of Mesiris Nefesh, so then that's another level in his Aveda. It doesn't express the deepest bittul. The real essence of Mesiris Nefesh is when a person is so dedicated to the Eibush that he's not thinking about himself at all, and then the Mesiris Nefesh comes out instinctively as part of his focus to serve the Eibush there. So there the Mesiris Nefesh is with an absolute bittul.
By the Arabs, they have certain rewards they will get if they do what they
So let's break that down for a second. The Rebbe is over here not the difference between what the Rebbe says between the Mesiris Nefesh of Avram and the Mesiris Nefesh of Rabbi Akiva. I wouldn't put Rabbi Akiva though in that same kind of category. So because that's like stam whatever shtusim and besides the shekesh bedava, but the whole thing. Even in the dark of Rabbi Akiva, that he was searching for Mesiris Nefesh, Rabbi Akiva was also on a tremendous level of bittul. For a person to search Mesiris Nefesh, what is he looking for? He was looking that he should die for the Eibishter's sake. He's and knowing that when he's going to die for the Eibishter's sake, it won't bring him any gain. He's not going to get any Hailam Haba for it, any Gan Eden for it, garnished. So even by the Mesiris Nefesh of Rabbi Akiva, there is a nukuda of bittul that he doesn't want the level of Mesiris Nefesh because of what I'm going to gain. He appreciates the mile of Mesiris Nefesh for the bittul that it is, and therefore all of his Aveda of his lifetime, Rabbi Akiva taught thousands of Talmidim Torah, and everything he did in his lifetime doesn't come to a moment of bittul for the Eibishter, and therefore he wanted to have that experience of bittul. So even Rabbi Akiva understood what the essence of Mesiris Nefesh is, that it represents just bittul without trying to gain anything. But soft, the very fact that he has that desire to reach that level of bittul, so behind that bittul, there is a certain basis of his ratzon, that he wants it, that he wants to gain and come to that level. So even by Rabbi Akiva, it's a Mesiris Nefesh. The essence of Mesiris Nefesh is an absolute bittul. That's Mesiris Nefesh in Klal Yisrael by all Yidden. By Avram Avinu, it's even more. The lashon of the Rebbe is that it's like b'derech agav. Not only does he recognize that the essence of Mesiris Nefesh is bittul, but he's not even focusing b'chlal on that Mesiris Nefesh is going to happen, or that Mesiris Nefesh is some level that he's going to gain and experience a greater bittul. He's so focused on doing what the Eibishter wants that the Mesiris Nefesh happens derech agav. So that's an even deeper bittul. So they're both bittul, it's just two different levels in bittul. That's the pshat of what the Rebbe is saying here. In another sikha, the Rebbe brings up that in you, but that's already in a much lower level of chayra. Let's go weiter. And then we find that the Eibishter says to Moshe Rabbeinu, "B'mokim gedolim Avram al tamid," that you cannot stand in the same place as the great people like Avram Avinu. So the Eibishter tells Moshe Rabbeinu about the greatness of Avram Avinu. So on one hand, we're saying that Moshe is the Shvi. He's the one that brings the Shekhinah down Lamata. But yet, at the same time, the Shvi has to recognize that whatever he has comes from the Rishon, begins with the Rishon. Okay, we'll see later in the Maamar, this is similar b'chlal to the seventh Sfira, which is Sfiras HaMalchus. Sfiras HaMalchus on one hand is the whole kavanah is all in Sfiras HaMalchus, because Sfiras HaMalchus is that Sfira that brings the Shechina down Lamata Masarat Tvachim and so on, and Torah Shvi is related to Sfiras HaMalchus. At the same time, the Sfiras HaMalchus itself is a makabel. Les lo migar mo klum. Those are the two opposites about Sfiras HaMalchus. On one hand, it has nothing of its own. Whatever it has to recognize that it's makabel from before. At the same time, though, because in the Sfira of Malchus, the whole kavanah of bringing the Shechina down Lamata Masarat Tvachim is fulfilled, Sfiras HaMalchus has a higher shayrish than the other spheres. So the same thing here. On one hand, Moshe Rabbeinu is the final step of bringing the Shechina down Lamata Masarat Tvachim. That's the kavan of the whole Bria, and there's a milah to that surpasses everything that happened before, so much so that this is it, Shvi. We don't even say any particular milah that it has, because this is the ganze kavana. Just the very fact that he's here and he's bringing the Shechina down, the Dire B'Tachtainim doesn't express any milah. This is the essence of what Hashem wants. At the same time, though, Sfiras HaMalchus, the number 7, comes behemshich to a whole Aveda. It comes behemshich to everything that was before. So v'hinei av ki godlo chavivus hashvi. Although, as we just said, how great the level, the love and the specialness of the 7th is, the ein zeba, and the level of the shvi, it's not a result, lo yal yidei b'chire, not the choice of the person, v'lo yal yidei aveda, it's not any of his own work that he worked on himself, that he accomplished. Ki emfarte keheit mitzad ha'teilde, it's there, it's given to him ready, from birth. Right? Any aveda a person could achieve is limited, how far a human being could go. The greatest aveda of the greatest shleimus of a tzaddik is still limited. So over here we're talking about the essential connection of a Yita Hashem, the kavanah of everything, to bring the Shechina down Lamata Masarat Tvachim. That's something that comes from the Eibishter. That's a very deep connection that the Shvi accesses. Kol Mokayim, however, there's no limitation. At the same time, you have to remember that there's no limitation to this level of Shvi Shenoimar, that any person of the generation, of the 7th generation should say. Shenefleisi, that this is very far, this is very high, this is very removed. This is something that's only for special individuals. Kiyim rather, what we can bring here is, compared to what it says to Tana Devei and Tana Devei Perik Tes and Perik Chafei, you move a b'da'ach, and it's brought in different Maimarim of Chassidus, Shekol Yisrael, every single Yid, Afila Eved, Afila Shivcha, and even a simple servant, a simple maidservant, Yechaylim La'agia La'ashras Ruach HaKodesh, could reach and connect to the Eibishter and have Ruach HaKodesh. And even more, the Chazal tell us, V'chol echad v'echad miYisrael chayiv loymar. Every single Yid is obligated to say to himself, Masa yagiu maisai l'maisai avaisai Avram Yitzchak v'Yaakov. When could the actions that I'm doing reach and be on the level of my forefathers Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov? Since it's something that's betailda, it's farteke hate. It's something that the Eibusha gives every single one of us, that this is what the koyach of the shvi that it has, so it's not based on any particular level that the person will reach through his own efforts. It's something that's there, be'etzem, in the heart of the Yid. And therefore, regardless of the level of the person, every Yid could say, Masa Yagia Maisa L'Maisa Avos Avram Yitzchak v'Yaakov. So let me just explain this for 1 second. I think we can use over here what we learned yesterday in the Gemara, which is also brought in Chassidus as well. The difference between an Eved and a Sar. An Eved that comes and is always in front of the Melech, and a Sar that is there's a distinguished minister that also speaks to the king often, but not the same the way an Eved comes and sees the king. An Eved, on one hand, is simple. He doesn't have any distinguished level or position. But at the same time, the Eved walks in and out of the private chamber of the king to serve the king, to bring him what he needs to clean, and he's always there in the presence of the king. And he's always doing what the king wants, and he has that closeness. Although this Eved is so simple and so it doesn't have any high level. On the other hand, the Sar is a person that worked his way through the ranks, and he accomplished, and because of his accomplishments, the king promoted him, and he goes higher and higher until he gets to a position where he meets the king once a week and so on. But that's a completely different track. It's a completely different track of connection to the Melech. Over here, when the Rebbe is saying that there's a Shvi, and the Shvi includes even an Eved and even a Shivcha, that in our generation, there's something that is there in the essence of the Yid that could connect to the Eibishter, that could surpass All the Aveda that was done in previous generations, they were on levels, much higher levels, in their Havana, Vasagi, and their Seichel, and their Midas, and their work, their concentration, and their focus, and their dedication. We don't have that kind of ability today. But at the same time, our Aveda that's done with simple Emunah and Kabbalah Soil and doing what the Eibishter wants, even though it's much more difficult and we don't have that kind of inspiration, goes further and can connect to the Eibishter on a higher level than anything before.
What's that to do with Ruach HaKodesh?
Ruach HaKodesh is a good question, huh?
Yeah, that's referring to himself, L'chol.
Huh?
Yeah, L'chol is referring to himself.
That was referring to himself.
L'chol, I think.
Okay. No, I mean, the pshat of the Maamar that I was talking to all of us, but I can certainly have no hezbah how Ruach HaKodesh applies to every individual.
What
Yeah.
is Ruach HaKodesh?
As far as I know, I mean, I can just tell you of what I've... Huh?
It's not Levi.
Beseder, good. Okay. So in other words, you relate to it. Du zest sich Ruach HaKodesh.
I'm asking what is Ruach HaKodesh. Just ask
It's
what's
a
the-
Holy Spirit that where
What's
a
Holy
person can say the future and see the
That's
present.
Levi.
And,
That's what
huh?
I'm asking. What's
It's
the
not the
distinction?
same level. Okay,
When
it's
you
not.
name
Okay,
a
here's not the time to explain the various levels of Baska, Ruach HaKodesh, Nevi'is Moshe, Nevi'is the other Nevi'im. There's a lot of levels. Can move on. But Ruach HaKodesh, I don't believe is something that any person can say. Ich bin a Baal Ruach
When
HaKodesh.
you name a child, you have Ruach HaKodesh.
Hmm?
So, I
Yeah.
thought you have something.
Okay, I hear you. I don't think though that's what the Rebbe is talking about here. Hashras Ruach HaKodesh. It's not what the Rebbe is talking about here. The Rebbe is talking about a Hashra of Ruach HaKodesh.
The real thing.
Yeah. Elo, the Rebbe adds immediately, Shemekol Mokaim darf mit sein genart pasich. Although there is very deep kaiches that are here in the seventh, that's more even than other generations, but one should not fool himself. If a person comes and says, "Oh, I have it all. I'm greater than everybody else," and maybe he's happy-go-lucky and he's lazy and it doesn't work, so then you're genart. Then you're fooling yourself, and you're not going to be higher at all. But tzarich leida, one has to know where he is. Asher b'mokim gedolim al tamid. That in the place of great people like Avraham Avinu do not stand. Person can't. So there's 2 points over here that I was saying. One point is pashat kipshutei. You shouldn't be genart. A person shouldn't just say, "I have it. It's there. It's in me. I don't have to do anything, so I can go to sleep." Obviously, that's not the kind of aveda that Rebbe is saying. That is shviz mitzad ha'teilde, and you can schlafen. But there's another point. A person has to realize what he's struggling with and what he has to work with. Our aveda, the struggles that we have, are very real. The Rebbe is not saying that we don't have. We have struggles to deal with that previous generations did not have to. The kinds of nisyanis and difficulties that we deal with, whether it's in seichel, we don't have that kind of a clarity in our seichel. The emotions, we don't have the avaviyira that previous generations had. V'chulu v'chulu. Those are very real things, and the Rebbe is not saying that it doesn't exist, that we're higher than everybody else and we're good. No, we befedish have nisyanis, we befedish have all these issues, but at the same time, there's essential keiches that we have, the Mesiris Nefesh, the Kabbalah Soil, there's a certain keich of dedication that a simple servant has, that if he taps into it, it could help you overcome all of those struggles that we have in our generation that previous generations did not have. So mekaner sein genart. The person has to face the facts. The person has to know who he is and what he's dealing with. And then he has to realize the keiches that are given for our generation to deal with them. But stam to say, I have these keiches and therefore all these struggles it seems I have are not true, it's a lie and I'm good and fine, that's not the kavanah here. That's what the Rebbe is bevarning. And the advantage, the level, the superiority that the Shvi has, who Shvi l'rishon. He has to always remember that he's a Shvi, that he's makabel, he receives from, he follows the previous generations, to the Rishon, to the first. As can durchführen Avedas a Shlichus HaRishon. The Aved of the Shvi is to fulfill and to accomplish the shlichus of what was begun by the first, by Avraham Avinu. The Al Tikra Vayikra Ela Vayakri. Aved of Avraham was to not only call out Hashem's name, but bring others as well to call out, to proclaim Hashem's greatness. So this is why the Shvi is so special. Why is the Shvi so unique? The Shvi is the one that the whole kavanah is in him. He brings the Shechina here into this world. So first the Rebbe says it in 3 steps. First of all, he's bringing down the Shechina. The Shvi is the one that brings down the primary level of Shechina, which the Rebbe will explain more again later, and we explained it already in Ois Aleph. The Iker Shechina does not refer to any Ur of Seder Shtalshalos. It refers to the Ur Shalifnei at Tzimtzum that's above everything. The Shvi is the one that fulfills the whole purpose of creation and brings the Shechina down here b'tachteinim. So the Rebbe concludes, V'hinei zeh toivim v'kol echad v'echad me'itanu doira shvi. So this is demanded of each one of us, the seventh generation of the Alter Rebbe that began Chassidus Chabad, bringing the Shechina down Lamata Masar Tfachim on a deeper level. So in our generation, the seventh generation of the Alter Rebbe, the Chol Ashvi and Chavivin, to remember that we are part of the generation that is special and beloved, that has these tremendous kaiches. Even though the fact that we are found in this generation, it's not with our choice, and it's not anything that we've accomplished and worked on ourselves. And in some matters, it could even be that it's against our wishes. We have to know that we are in this generation that's bringing the Shechina down Lamata, and therefore we are in that position, whether we like it or not, that has that special connection. We are found in the last moments of Golus, when we can hear the footsteps of Mashiach, and in that itself, in the very last moments, and our avodah is to complete drawing down the Shechina. To bring down the Ikar Shechina here b'tachteinim.
Why couldn't Avram accomplish everything? He had that power.
It's a process. It's a process.
Yeah, why does it have to be a process? I mean,
Okay.
Hashem wants it. We understand that.
Okay, it's a good
The
question.
question is, he had all the milas.
Right. Okay, I hear your question. Let's go back. Let's continue a little bit further. This, by the way that Rebbe said this Maamar was unique. Later, the Rebbe never said a Maamar this way. The Rebbe said a Maamar until this point, and then the Rebbe stopped and said, "Met zingen met machen hefsek and zingen anigen," and they sang the Rabbeim, one of the Rabbeim's Nigunim. I don't remember which right now. Then the Rebbe continued the Maamar for another chelik. I don't remember not exactly till where, but maybe till Siv Zayin. And then the Rebbe again made a hefsek to sing other Nigunim of the Rabbeim. And the Rebbe continued the Maamar till the end. So here, this begins the second section of the Maamar.
This part the Rebbe cried, no? This part.
In many parts. In many different parts of the Maamar the Rebbe cried, correct. After the Friediger Rebbe explains that the primary presence of the Shechina at the beginning of creation was here below in this world, and that what happened later, that Moshe Rabbeinu in the seventh generation came along and brought the Shechina down Lamata Masar Tvachim. Omer, he says, where was the main revelation of Elokos? It was in the Beis HaMikdash. So Moshe Rabbeinu began by bringing it down by Matan Torah, and then in the Mishkan, but the main place where the Eibusher's presence was revealed was in the Beis HaMikdash. May the Alzah Pasik, and he brings the other Pasik, the Chsiva Osalim Mikdash. We build a Beis HaMikdash for the Eibusher, V'shachanti b'soicham, and the Eibusher dwells in it. And then it says, V'soichai loy nemar, it doesn't use the singular term saying that the Eibusher dwells in the Beis HaMikdash, Ela b'soicham, b'soich kol echad v'echad mi'Yisrael. The Eibusher dwells within the heart of every single Yid. And this is connected to the pasuk that it says tzadikim yirshu oretz, tzadikim inherit the land, v'yishkenu la'adaleo, and they dwell within it forever. That's a simple pshat of the pasuk. So the Friediger Rebbe teaches that tzadikim yirshu oretz, when it says that the tzadikim inherit the land, shu Gan Eden, that refers to Gan Eden that they get, that they go into. Their neshamas enter into Gan Eden. Why is this? Why are they zeicha to Gan Eden? Mipnei shehei mashkinim, hainu mamshichim, because they bring to the dwelling of the Eibishter, bichinas sheichen ad, morim v'kadosh, when it says lo ad, it's not only saying that they dwell in the land forever, but they draw down the level of ad, morim and kadosh here into this world. And the Rebbe adds, ha'inyan hazeh, the sheichen ad, the meaning of this level of Sheikhin Ad Enem Avar Ba Maamar. He doesn't explain what it is in the Maamar. Umavuru b'Lekutei Torah al pi Maamar Azaya. In Lekutei Torah it's explained what exactly is the meaning of this level of Ad. Whatever the pshat is, it's a high level of Elokos that's brought down into this world. Sheikhin Ad that Avraham Avinu and all the tzaddikim and Moshe Rabbeinu bring down into this world. Sheyeh begilui lemata, that it should be here below. So this is the pshat of the pasuk when it says, the Eibusher says, I've come to my garden, Where was the main presence of the Eibishter at the beginning of creation? It was Dafke here below, because this is the whole kavanah to bring the Shechina down, as the Rebbe will explain now. And you know what's the point? Why is it that at the beginning of creation, where was the Shechina? It was here below. So the Rebbe goes back now to the beginning of the Maamar. Why is it that at the beginning of the creation, the Shechina was b'tachteinim? And as we said before, that doesn't refer to the Eir of Seder Ishtalshalos. The Eir of Seder Ishtalshalos gets less and less, and whatever revelation that was here b'tachteinim at the beginning of creation is less than there was Bal Yainim. But we said that Ikar Shechina was b'tachteinim. Even more, Dafke b'tachteinim. So when you talk about Seiviv Kol Almin, that's a level that's equal in all elements. It's Shava in all elements, the highest and the lowest. Not only was it equal, but it was more b'tachteinim than Al Yainim. What's the reason for that? So the reason is the whole purpose of the creation and everything is was Hashem's desire to have a dwelling here below. And that desire was present and was sensed and felt by the creation at the beginning of the creation. That desire was embedded. It was part of the DNA of here in the creation. That's the pshat of the fact that the Eibishter was here b'tachteinim. We'll see the Hemshech next week.